views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Everyone, welcome to Angel Healing House Radio. My name is Candy Hough. Through my business, Angel Healing House, which can be found at angelhealinghouse.com. I'm a writer and an author, an international radio host, a Reiki master teacher, and an angel practitioner. My inspirational books entitled Angels of Faith and One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, and my autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, are based on my recollections of our life in spirit, and they help us to remember our divine, eternal natures. Through Angel Healing House, I help people to let go of sadness, anger, bitterness, resentment, and regret that has kept them locked in the prison of the past, and I help them to let go of worry, stress, and control, which has kept them focused on an imagined future. And once they are no longer living in the past or the future, they can start to live in the present moment, which is the only place that they can experience synchronicities, miracles, and magic. As an angel practitioner, I help people to see their lives from a higher perspective with the help of an extraordinary group of angels who call themselves the Posse of Angels. Just like my angelic family, the Posse of Angels, I'm very excited to take some of your calls for that free angel advice. You can call into the show on 1-800-930-2819. But before we get to those callers, welcome everyone to Angel Healing House Radio with me, Candy Hough. I wanted to begin today's program by reading a beautiful email that I received, and it goes like this. Dear Candy, thank you so much for your podcasts. I discovered them while I was going through a very bad period of my life. I'm trying to get rid of past hurts and not worry so much about the future so that I can live, as you always say, in the nanosecond of the now. I was a special education teacher working at a school for inner city youth, many who had been kicked out of other schools. I would get in my car, burst into tears, cry all the way to work, and then cry when I got to school. I was applying for jobs. I got some interviews, but no job offers. I was a real mess. I listened to several of your podcasts where you suggested that we do the mantra of thanking the universe for the great job, even before you got it, where you would say to the universe, I get to work with fun people. I get to be financially remunerated for my expertise. And I love my job. I wrote all of what you said on a 3x5 card. I said it as often as I could. And I made peace with myself that I could not help students who did not want to be helped. And something amazing happened. I applied for several jobs and got calls to interview for all three. One was a phone interview, and during the interview, the call dropped out. I was also surprised that I got an interview because this school is in a school district that is very difficult for outsiders to get into. And 2 days after this, the principal called to offer me the position. I was absolutely stunned and a little hesitant to accept. I met the principal today and got really good vibes. The pay is double what I currently make. Benefits are great, and there are many opportunities for professional development and growth. I felt like I needed to let you know and the Posse of Angels that something really great had occurred in the universe as a result of your wonderful program. I will continue to listen to your podcasts, promote them to my friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you and the Posse of Angels for coming into my universe. And that's from Monica. Just remember that you can listen whenever you wish to any or all of the previous Angel Healing House radio programs, as they are all archived on my host page on Transformation Talk Radio. Now, on last week's show, we spoke about some of the wonderful ways that the angels try and get our attention and give us signs. And there were so many angel signs that I decided to do a part 2 of angel signs this week. Now, last week we spoke about the importance of living only in the present moment, as this is the only place that we can discern the signs from the angels. You know, the Posse of Angels are saying that living in this moment is only possible if we've cleared and cleansed all of our anger, our bitterness, resentment, regret, judgment, unforgiveness, and are no longer being reactive and triggered. All of these things are only felt because we are still living in the past. And they wish to remind us to stop worrying and stop stressing and controlling, as this has us living in the future and not in the present moment. And as many of us know, our futures are determined by what we put our focus on in the nanosecond of the now, in the present moment. Last week, we touched on the amazing signs that the angels give us through animals. Just this past week, I had a huge bushy-tailed squirrel dancing along the balustrade of my balcony. Did you know that squirrels are a sign of gathering? Seeing a squirrel might be a sign of storing your energy. Perhaps you're trying to do too much, or it could mean to prepare for the future. Like squirrels collect their acorns. They're not always good about remembering where they put them, but they're very good about gathering them. You could also prepare for a future by researching and taking new courses to gain more knowledge on a subject that could be useful once you do get to that future. Squirrel has often been an indication to honor one's future. It's also telling us to get ready and prepare ourselves for some change coming in. With his playful nature, squirrel could show us that we've been at our computers for just too long, and what we need to do is get out and play more. If a lizard appears in our world, then it means pay attention to your dreams. It may be telling you to take particular note of the messages in your dreams. It may also be an indication to honor your dreams by putting more focus on creating movement and taking inspired action toward the manifestation of your heartfelt wishes. And even though we recall and we run away from snakes, when we see a snake, it's one of the strongest indications that we are transmuting something in our life. Snake could be telling us to transmute, let's say, our thoughts, our actions, our desires, to be open and make more space for the new to come in. Like a snake sheds its skin, we're transmuting ourselves to really be reborn in some way. And while animals and insects convey really strong messages for us, there are many other ways that the angels connect with us through our intuition, through our gut feelings, and those things that just catch our attention. You know, most of the time, people do not recognize these signs because they are too busy with their, in quotes, their expected agendas. Okay. And these signs seem they're seemingly insignificant. They're so little that people just don't give them any attention. Recently, I was to meet a very dear friend at a restaurant at a very, very busy mall. I'm not sure if we met, over a holiday weekend or what it was, but this was midweek and the parking lot was completely full. As I started thanking the Posse of Angels for organizing a parking space for me, we all have parking angels. I spotted a lady holding the hand of a little girl, and the little girl had ribbons in her hair, and she was skipping along, and she was holding a red balloon as they walked to the mall. Now, even though I was late to meet my friend, I stopped the car and I watched this little carefree, joyful girl skipping along, and it made me feel so happy. In that moment that my intuition told me to pause, I then heard a car engine turn on, and the car that I had stopped in front of was about to pull out. If I had not paused, the line of cars behind me would have surely taken the space. Thanking the angels, I smiled at the ease and grace of life just working out, which can be as simple as waiting a few extra moments to watch a gleeful little girl skip along with a red balloon. Now, the Posse of Angels is emphasizing that when a sign is presented to you, don't try to figure it out, but just go with your intuition. Go with your gut feeling. Go with that wiggle inside of you. For years, I've spoken about this little girl wiggle inside of me. If it makes me excited, if it catches my attention, if it opens up wonder in me, then I give it my attention. I mentioned in last week's program that the angels so often send us signs through the songs that we hear. Now, personally, the number of times over the last 15 years since I had my angelic walk-in experience in January in 2003, I don't have the book on hand, but I do write about my wonderful angelic walk-in experience in my book, I Am an Angelic Walk-in. But since I had that walk-in 15 years ago, I have either tuned into the radio or walked into a store, and I have heard angel songs countless numbers of times. Whether it's the song Heaven is Missing an Angel by Tavares, or She Talks to Angels by the Black Crowes, Earth Angels by the Penguins, You Are My Special Angel by Bobby Vinton, Angel by Sarah McLachlan, Angels by Robbie Williams, and many more. I'm just getting shivers all over. These are just a few that I continually hear. Now, why? It's because my number one priority is shining my angelic presence on the planet and helping others to connect to their own divine, eternal natures. Now, so do pay attention to what songs appear in your reality and see if you can discern what message that they might hold for you. I'm just I'm amazed. I'm amazed at the songs that I attract to myself and that appear just for me. The more we look for the wealth, I'm talking about the wealth and the richness of signs that the angels bestow on us, the more our lives take on an appearance of an enchanted wonderland. It's like an interactive treasure map that is constantly changing and presenting us with heaven-sent clues to confirm that we are on the right path. For instance, I've been told by the Posse of Angels and many, many friends who are clairvoyant that I will be stepping up going global in the fields of not only radio, but also TV. So this was years ago. I was not surprised when I sat down in a local Starbucks and I was writing on my laptop, and a few moments later, two girls sat down next to me and began to have a loud, animated conversation on how they both just got hired as interns to work at CBS television. Now, this is every day, because after all, I do live in Los Angeles. But when I was finished and I left the cafe, I took note that they were speaking about TV. I pulled out of my parking spot and I laughed out loud as the license plate on the car in front of me spelled out YOUTV, which was UTV. It was 4 weeks afterwards that I received a call from Transformation Talk Radio asking me to do my radio show on Facebook Live TV. One of the greatest ways that the angels do get our attention in order to give us signs and messages comes in the disguises that angels wear as humans as they intervene in our lives so often. This is why it is very important to be kind, to be hospitable to all strangers. For you know what, listeners, you never know when you could be entertaining angels in your life. I remember when Pete and I first came to the States and to live, and we relocated to the Monterey Bay area, where the Posse of Angels told us to move first. Now, within a short amount of time, we were divinely led to the lady who helped me publish my first book, and which was Angels of Faith, loosely based on my 2 near-death experiences, and she introduced me to my wonderful illustrator. Pete was divinely connected with work in the film industry. Yet after only 3 months, we both started getting very obvious signs for Santa Barbara. At that stage, the only thing that Pete and I knew about Santa Barbara was the daytime soap opera. So we acted on this very excited feeling, and after we heard many of these references, and we decided to take a trip and go visit. And we immediately fell in love with Santa Barbara's beautiful energies. But we were still very unsure as to whether we should move there or not. It was some weeks later, after our return to Monterey, we went out to dinner and we were walking back to our car when a homeless man approached us. He asked Pete for some money, and Pete spoke with him. On noticing Pete's accent, the man said, "I loved it when I was in Australia, as people were so kind to me when I was there." Pete and I thought that perhaps he was an international homeless man. As we turned to walk away, the man shouted out to us, "But do you know where they treated me best of all? It was in Santa Barbara." Both Pete and I received shivers and tingles all over. God had used a ragged, homeless man, an angel, to confirm to us that our next step indeed was to pack and move down to Santa Barbara. We started to make arrangements the very next day. Once we really truly know that the angels are supporting, they're encouraging, they're showing us direction towards the fulfillment of our dreams, we then will consciously not only stay vigilant for their signs, but we will remain open to entertain angels in whichever guise that they choose to come in. And they choose to give us important information for our clarity, our direction, and a lot of the times for confirmation. One last example of the countless signs that Pete and I have received. I remember when Pete and I first arrived in the States, and money was extremely tight for us then. This was in 2008, God told us to sell our beautiful beach home in Australia, move to the States, and that was at the beginning of the recession. But we are children of God, and we step in faith, whatever God tells us to do. But the money was certainly very tight. I had just deposited Pete's paycheck in the bank, and when I looked at the bank balance, I saw that the savings at that stage were very meager indeed. Well, in that moment, I decided that my feelings of richness did not depend on a number that was representative of my bank account. So on my walk home, I said aloud, I am rich, I'm wealthy, I'm abundant. And I closed my eyes and I felt how truly rich I was. I was rich because I loved people and people loved me. I was rich because I had food to eat. I was rich because I had a roof over my head. I had been blessed with the ability to see, to hear, to smell, to touch, to taste. I was rich because God and the angels always provided for me what I needed. And as I reveled in this vibration of gratitude and pure appreciation, I felt the wind start to swirl around me. And I opened my eyes, and there in the distance, I saw something floating towards me. It was actually skimming along the ground. And as it came closer, I saw that it was money. When I leaned down to pick it up, I gasped as it was a $50 bill. Amazing what can happen when we release all of our expectations and attachments as to how the angels should respond and as to what signs they send us for our greatest benefit. I guess what we are doing when we are open and inviting the angels to give us signs is to open to the magic of life happening and to those unexplained events, like a homeless man confirming to us that we needed to make plans and start packing to move to Santa Barbara. And you know, everyone, when I chose an animal card today for our additional messages, who should fly in but, here comes Crow, who has long been associated with magic by many cultures. Remember that Crow has an ability to see the unseen and to know the unknown. Remember, because they are cross-eyed, they're wonderful at shape-shifting, and this is being able to be in the world of the etheric and at the same time be in the physical world. Crow merges light and dark and can see both inner and outer realities both at the same time. Crow may be guiding you to get in touch with developing your own ability to perceive subtle shifts in energy with yourself and also in your environment, to go beyond illusions. This is helpful when there is so much information that is posted out there with misleading, sometimes alternative facts, fake news to fulfill other people's agendas and certainly not the betterment for all concerned. Because Crow does live in the void, the time of no time. All possibilities exist, and nothing, but nothing is impossible. It therefore might be an omen of changes occurring in your life and to prepare yourself for this to happen. So whether this preparation entails cleaning out your closets, having a garage sale, or just mentally getting ourselves ready for the change coming in. Caw! Crow is cawing and assuring us that when we allow the messages and the signs from God and the angels to give us direction and to give us clarity, we'll be able to easily shapeshift into the ever-changing aspects that go into creating a human life. So thank you, Crow. Off he goes, off he flaps away. You have been listening to me, Claire Candy Hough, on Angel Healing House Radio. Do remember that Angel Healing House Radio airs every week at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's on Transformation Talk Radio. In the few minutes that we have left before a break, there's some really important information that I'd like to remind everyone about, because in a few days' time, we are going to experience a total lunar eclipse on July 27th that will bring significant change to many of our lives. Now, during the partial solar eclipse, which we experienced on July 12th, you may have received a push as to making some positive difference for yourself. And the total lunar eclipse will bring to light what we need to action in order to experience that new difference for us. This powerful lunar eclipse coming up it will make many feel like something big is on the horizon. Something is about to happen, whether you are ready for it or not. It may feel like this energy is maybe like shoving you towards change, and we may find that we actually need to give up something in order to gain what we so desire in our hearts. Relationships, careers, beliefs are known to come to an end when an eclipse is on the horizon or eclipse happens. Many quit their dishonoring or their compromising jobs to focus on what they really love to do, what they're passionate about, what and what gives them great joy. Others do leave relationships that are no longer respectful and honoring for them. What is going to be revealed for many is something incredible waiting for them to step into and to step on the path to fulfill their destiny. This is no less than a total lunar eclipse that will reveal to us our next mission, if you want to call it that, to step on the path. This new path, just like the path that got you here in the present moment, will never be straight, logical, and in many cases, it won't be easy, but it is one that your feet are meant to step onto for the next thrilling part of your incarnation on planet Earth. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to take your calls for those free angel readings. And you can call into the show on 1-800-930-2819. We will see you after the break.
To see your life from an angel's perspective, book a personal consultation with Claire Candy Hough, angelic walk-in angel Ariel at Angel Healing House. Candy provides intuitive counseling, Reiki, and angel readings in person in Los Angeles or nationally and internationally via phone or Skype. She will channel the practical tools you need to transform your life. Call now, 831-277-3716, or visit angelhealinghouse.com. Take your own journey with the angels with Claire Candy Hough's Heaven Sent Guided Angel Meditation CD. Letting go of concerns and living in the now. This beautiful CD walks listeners through practical exercises to help free them from the burdens, worries, and concerns of daily life.
Walking a quarter of the way across the bridge, you see a bright, emerald green light and sense a loving presence. This is Archangel Raphael's green healing energies, nourishing and revitalizing you. Take a moment now to bathe in this green healing light.
Giving you much more than just relaxation and stress release, this wonderfully narrated CD provides vivid visualization, soothing and inspiring music,
and an Angels choir that will bring you peace, clarity, and a newfound awareness. Visit angelhealinghouse.com today.
Hello, everyone. You are listening to me, Claire Candy Hough, on Angel Healing House Radio. And I was just saying before the break, we are in for a jam-packed, absolutely amazing next month or even next couple of weeks coming up. We have a full moon, first of all. Then we have a total lunar eclipse. Then we have Mercury retrograde starting on the 26th. And in 2 weeks' time, on the 8/8, we have the Lion's Gate portal opening up. So if you're feeling emotional, if you're feeling off kilter, if you're feeling off balance, do not beat yourself up. There is a lot that is going on. Some of the things that you can do is go out and hug a tree. Go out in nature, spend a lot of time in nature, spend a lot of time in next to water. It's very cleansing. If you can't get near water, Epsom salt baths or salt baths are wonderful, and a lot of quiet time and reflection. And when you feel sleepy, do, if at all possible, get as much sleep as possible, because these energies are very, very draining. So look after yourselves, lots of self-care, and take care out there. Let's go to our callers. Our first caller is Karen in Toronto. Karen, you're on the line with Angel Healing House Radio. How are you today?
I'm great. I'm so excited I got through. Thanks, Candy, for taking
You're very welcome. What's going on in your life?
Energies are very different. Well, all of a sudden, I'm an artist, for one thing, and all of a sudden, I was stricken with my retina peeling away, so I'm dealing with trying to heal that. I'm very lucky that something was holding it, because it should have been worse. But it just seemed like in the week that happened to me. My daughter was then traumatized by an incident at work, experiencing a young girl get basically someone dropped her and her head split open, so she was traumatized. Lights are doing weird things, and last night when we were sleeping, her picture behind her bed, just the wire broke and just fell. So it's just things feel wonky, and I'm not sure what. But I did see on the way home from the hospital on the third trip a little yellow finch.
A little yellow what?
Finch. The little bird?
Oh, a little yellow finch. Oh, birds are, yeah. Go on.
In the midst of all that, we were turning on a crossroad, and there was this little yellow finch right on the branch by the road.
Oh, what a beautiful sign. And that it was yellow. Mm-hmm. Yellow is often the sign of optimism. It's also the sign of positivity. It's also the sign of brightness, radiance, light. Mm. It's the sign of happiness and joy. And birds are so often the messengers from the angels. Another thing that this eclipse season is bringing forth is it's revealing. And it's bringing to light anything that needs to be brought back into divine alignment. And so it does sound like you're having your fair share of things that need to be addressed. The Posse of Angels are saying that the more that you can bless, even bless the contrast, because you may not know what it is bringing you towards, but it is always there for your highest good. And they're saying that the more light and the more love and the more acceptance. If this is happening, it's happening for a reason, and that I will now choose to clear all energies that may have served you in the past to bring you some form of contrast, but now it does not serve me anymore. So I just bless it, see it in beautiful green healing light, unconditional light waves of pink, and I release, anything that is not of the highest for me. When you said about, that you're an artist and that you have had troubles with your retina, it may be because you're trying, there's something obviously that you do not want to see. Maybe you're sabotaging yourself in some way. Maybe there's this fear inside of you about stepping forward, bringing your designs forth, or that kind of thing. So we sabotage.
Yes, it's very odd. We sabotage ourselves.
Yeah. Say that again, please.
You're right. It feels like they're stumped because it's been about 4 months, and normally when the retina detaches, it falls like a curtain. So they're fighting to do everything they can to reattach it, and it's forced me to be at home, which I've never taken the time to really reevaluate and rest and be able to call in to see you.
Well, absolutely. One of the things that the lunar eclipse reveals is, those things that we may have been too busy for, that we haven't addressed, and it makes us think, what is really important in my life? It has us reassessing. We might have had a dream, we might have had a goal, and we are different people now. So it gets us to reassess what is really of utmost importance to us. And when I drew some cards for you, the first card that came out is the Ace of Wands. This is a very new beginning for you. It's a new beginning for you to reassess what is important, not only what is important to you, but for your career. Where do you want to take this? What do you want to do with it? And for you to face your fears around all of those things. The next card, once you do face your fears and you let go of the how of maybe the how of doing your art, or where it needs to go, or the connections, all of these things which may be bringing up this fear inside of you. The Page of Cups comes in, and the Page of Cups means that then you'll be open to receive different proposals and different opportunities, things that you might not have been open to do before because there was this air of expectation. There's an air of expectation around you. And the next card is the Page of Pentacles. So you really do have 2 pages there, which are being open to more opportunities and messages coming in. This one is about your abundance and where it lies. And so often our abundance lies in ourselves, and knowing that we have everything we need in order to live a life of passion, a life of joy, and a life of peace and self-love. So I hope that's been helpful for you, Karen.
Shivers, candy to the soul. Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you. Karen, can I, all right, I speak for the Posse of Angels, but also from personal experience, be kind to yourself, okay? Especially during this eclipse season. If you want to sleep. If you want to go out in nature, if you want to take baths with rose petals in it, who knows? But just be kind to yourself. Not only because you're worthy and you deserve it, but because this is going to make an enormous effect on you being open to receive. So I hope that's been helpful.
Thank you. It has been.
Take care.
Thank you. Bless you. Bye.
Bye. How lovely. And that goes for all of us. Really be kind to yourself during this eclipse season, because it wreaks havoc on our emotional state. Let's go to our next caller. We have Sue in Arizona. Sue, you're on the line with Claire Candy Hough. How are you today?
I'm good, Miss Candy. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you holding up with all of these energies swirling around us?
Well, I'd like to say that, yes, I feel them. I absolutely feel them. And I'd like to say that I could blame what I'm going through on that, but I feel like I've been feeling it longer than that. So,
okay.
I feel like I have so many ideas going on and so many things started and so many things along, and I focus, and then I come to a plateau of energy, momentum, and I just kind of feel like, now what? And I almost feel like I'm standing in the middle of the room walking in all different directions and get so many steps and then stop and turn around and go someplace else.
And that can be really frustrating. So, so what the Posse of Angels are saying is that you have done a very good job. They're saying that every time you felt in your heart to bring forth another creative project, you were a dedicated and very respectful child of God, and you brought forth and did it. Now, they want you to know that so much is happening under the surface that you can't see. And just because you can't see it, doesn't mean that things aren't happening. So they want you to let go of trying to control or stress or worry. I wrote this book and, a publisher should have published it, or I should have been picked up as a syndicated radio show, or whatever it is. Whatever we have the illusion of what was supposed to happen, we need to let that go. And we need to say, thank you. Thank you for directing me for my highest good, for the highest good of all concerned, as to the how and the when of this working, or not even working out, as to where this is going on the planet. Because they want you to understand, Sue, and many other of us who've been prompted in our hearts to write the books, create the shows, whatever that is, we couldn't have been asked to do it if it's not going to go somewhere, or if it's not going to connect with someone. So you will be shown, and we are all on a need-to-know basis. So in the meantime, if things seem like they've come to a standstill, then go out and have fun. Now, fun for everyone could be a lot of things, but don't stop being creative just because other projects or other things have come to a standstill, because, we are children and we like to passionately create, and we feel at our best when we're creatively expressing ourselves. But just the important part is to not be attached to, I'm going to create this, therefore, because it has to go somewhere, or I'm going to write a book because I'm going to make $1 million out of it, or I'm going to do my radio show because it's going to get me seen, or whatever. We do it for our passion's sake and for the joy that it brings us. So you just have an opportunity to be more creative, to do more self-care, and to not be so stuck on expectations and attachments as to what things needed to be happening. And I'm in the same position. I'm absolutely in the same position now. I sit in my lovely office and I go, hello, is anybody out there? Where are you? And what they, Sue, what they send.
I get that.
Okay, what they send me back is crickets. It's like, nobody's out. What should I do? There are no shoulds. Go have fun. Go play. Go out in nature. Go create a song. Go write a poem. You have so many lovely ideas for books and short stories and lovely things. So And you feel at your best when you're doing that. Don't worry where it's going, just do it. So let's go to the cards and see what comes out for our lovely Sue in Arizona. Your first card is the sun. Is the beautiful sun card.
I love that card.
I know. It's like, it's radiant. It's illuminating. They want you just to shine. They're also saying, Sue, you have no idea how much you're doing for yourself and the planet when you just sit there and you center yourself and allow yourself to be. It's like you are the sun. You don't. And this is saying, and it's not the case, but if nothing ever comes of the things that you've done, you have no idea of how much you have contributed to the ascension of the planet by just being your radiant self. So they want you to remind you of that. Also, horses in the tarot cards are the sign of your personal power. Don't let yourself be drained by the illusion that something has had to happen now with something that you've created, and to let go and surrender and release the expectation and attachment as to all of those shoulds. Next card that comes out for you is the Star card. Oh my gosh, you got 2 major arcana cards. Goodness me.
I love that card too.
I know. This is the card of hope. This is the card of, they want you to get in every time we feel like we're worried or stressful, or we need to control something. It means that we've detached from the inner child. They want you to wish upon a star. They want you to connect with the little girl inside of you. Go grab a lollipop and ride a roller coaster. I don't know what floats your boat, but this is the hope and the wishing card, and they just want you to get back to that little girl inside of you, and certainly in the next card that's coming out for us is the moon card. You got the trifecta here. You got the sun, you got the moon, and you got the stars. I'm just getting shivers all over me, my dear. Okay, oh my gosh, they're saying that you have no idea what's in store for you. And this lunar eclipse is going to open doors and present you with maybe just the first inklings of what's to come in the next year. So they're saying, increase that faith and hope and trust in you. Take this as a major sign that you got the sun, the moon, and the stars. Your wish.
I love it.
I know, and they're saying that your wish was our command, and that your wish is already granted. Their wishes have already granted. They just haven't been seen yet on the physical fields of matter. So you can take that, and I already feel your energies lifting, and I hope that's been helpful.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Candy. It really has been, because I feel like I've just been kind of in a little bit of a hole lately. So Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Sending you lots of love. Have a glorious day. Take care.
Yes, you too.
Bye. Thank you so much, Sue. And that goes for many of us that have felt like we have been forgotten. You know, it's like, okay, I wrote the books and I did this and I did that and I was a faithful child, and now crickets. Don't worry. Please don't worry. Things always work out the way they need to for your soul's growth and for the greatest good of yourself, and also the greatest good of all concerned. Release that, and especially in this eclipse season, and with the Lionsgate energies opening up on the 8/8. I'll be speaking more about that later on in the weeks to come. Be very kind to yourself and increase your faith, and know that you are a child of God, and that God and the angels always have your best interests at heart. They're always working on the fulfillment of your prayers, and that all you need to do is to hold that peace, self-care, and that love and that trust and faith in that higher source. Let's go to our next caller. We have Beth in California. Beth, you're on the line with Claire Candy Hough. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm really, really well. Are you starting to pick up some of these energies that are swirling around?
Oh my gosh. Yes. First of all, you have to just go really slow, because when I start to speed up or do something, it gets really crazy. Like everything gets a little wonky. So I just have to really keep centered. And then my sleep was really bizarre last night. And when you just said about the eclipse and then the full moon and then I was like, and this energy is so powerful. I can just feel it. It's really, really powerful.
Yeah, and the moment that we get out of the present moment, which is the only moment that we can live in, suddenly things go wonky. They always go wonky for me. You know, if I think about something in the future or stress about something in the future, or, you know, something in the past pops up, it always takes me out of alignment, and it's always, whoop, no, all I have is now. This is all I need, and I just have to hold that presence, and then things come back into alignment again.
Exactly. It's really, really important. I can see what all this preparation has been leading up to about being centered, because the technology is one of the things that really can set you off.
Oh my gosh, can it ever?
Disappearing.
More and more people that I know are backing away from social media. You know, it can be addictive, and they found that, you know, they would jump on there seemingly only for a few minutes, and then after a couple of hours, they said, you know, where did the time go?
Exactly.
And they have found that they have purposely backed away from it. And when you back away from it, it's like there's a whole world out there. There's a whole world of people to engage with and to socialize personally with, you know, to take yourself out in nature, you know, to engage with the world, and not just on the computer. So a lot of people have experienced this as well.
Yeah, it's so cool that you pulled the crow card, because we have like 1,000 crows that fly over our house at sunset and at sunrise. And it's like it makes sense why it feels so magical and clear over here. The energy, because they're just clearing the energy and clearing the energy, and I didn't even realize how powerful that is.
Yeah, they're just an amazing symbol. And a lot of people, you know, see crows as, you know, sort of a bad omen, but they certainly are not a bad omen, because I like the fun fact that they are cross-eyed. And so when they're cross-eyed, they're able to live not only in the physical world, but the etheric as well. So they're able to shapeshift and to be in the two worlds at the same time. And that's where many of us have come to, or many of us are shifting towards, is that we understand that we are human, we're physical beings in the physical fields of matter, but that we also are spiritual beings having this human experience. And it's the balance of those two that make for our lives to be more in balance, and for us to feel like we're more at home, I guess.
Yeah, that's definitely a tricky balance, because to try and feel like you're so expansive, and then remember that you're right here too. You know, it's like to stay in the present with that, even, because it's easy to just want to float off into never land and not deal with the human experience.
It's very true. I've got about 3 minutes left. Let's go to the cards and see what comes out for our lovely Beth.
Okay, perfect. How exciting.
Oh, it is exciting. So the first card that you have for yourself is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is it's a proposal card. But it's also that card of because the cups are all about love. It's allowing more love into your life. They're saying that that you've come a long way in releasing judgment. You've come so far in allowing others to live their lives and to allow them to play the human game that they see fit in playing. And so in this way, it'll help you to take action to and create space for more for connected with love to come into your life. They're saying you have transmuted
totally
so much. You've transmuted so very much. The next card for you is the victory card. Oh my gosh, this is the card. This is the card of being recognized, and being promoted as well. So they're saying that although you did have a difficult time putting yourself forward, they're saying be prepared for opportunities that are, and this total lunar eclipse is going to bring this in, for opportunities for you to be recognized for all the wonderful things that you've created. Remember, you didn't create them for nothing. And the next card is the Two of Cups, which is the partnership card. And those partners are going to show up for you and come in. They're talking specifically about those business opportunities for you to get your beautiful message out there in your creative projects. So I hope that's been helpful for you, beautiful Beth, and to have an absolutely extraordinary day.
Thank you, beautiful angel.
All right, take care.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye. And that just about wraps the show for today. Remember that Angel Healing House Radio airs every week, Tuesdays, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you're interested to look up more about my books, please go to my website, angelhealinghouse.com. And everyone, remember to be kind to yourself. And this coming week, especially with the eclipse, the full moon, all of those things, please do go out and fashion a very kind, beautiful life for yourself. Love, and as always, angel blessings. And I look forward to speaking with you again next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.